This is Dick Macht. He's been here for 2.5 weeks. I'd say about 3 days ago, he started counting down the days saying, oh, I only have 4 more days with you. Only 5 more days. I said, Dad, you're gonna make me sad. Anyway, my dad is a great world traveler. He's been a teacher. He taught at Dartmouth. He's taught in a Waldorf school. He's taught in other private schools. He was a paralegal. He was a massage therapist. He still gives me foot massages. But now I say, Dad, could you press a little harder? What else have you done? Anyway, he's done a lot. He can tell you about it. Hi, Keelan. He's self-published 15 books, which Alexander has helped him do. And today we have the pleasure, I hope, for him, my dad, to tell you a little bit, read a few of his stories about his trips to Thailand and India. And then if you have any questions or we just want to have a conversation, we'll do that. Okay?
Thank you, Jeanette. It's a great pleasure for me to be here with all of you. I just turned 27, and I'm still doing it. I can't believe it. No, actually, I'm 87, and this is a very, very great pleasure. I taught Jewish studies for 24 years in adult Jewish summer camps and in elder hostels all over the country. I even taught Catholic nuns and retired Protestant ministers and their wives, and everybody was Christian in the group. And I really have enjoyed it. But one of the things I enjoy most of all is reading my stories and then talking about the stories. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to read you several stories from this book on Thailand. It's called The Land of Three Mists. And all of my books are on Amazon.com if you're interested in looking them up. This is the Thailand book, and this is the India book, The Remnants of the Vines. And I really enjoyed those trips very much. So the first story I'm going to read you is from Thailand book, and it's when I first came there and how I got accustomed to Thailand by meeting a Chinese acupuncturist who helped me very much. And at the beginning of each of my stories, I always have a Zen quote, which sort of illuminates the story to come. Dr. Rungrat is the title of the story. If a man speaks or acts with a pure thought, happiness follows him as a shadow that never leaves him. That's from the Dharma in India book. I had an attack of gout in the ball joint of my left big toe. It was very painful, to the point where I could barely walk on it without experiencing intense throbbing. It was all red and swollen. Luckily, I met an American woman married to a Thai man who both do massage near Rhinebeck, New York. And she recommended I go to see Dr. Rungrat, a Chinese acupuncturist and herbalist who had helped her when she had first come to Thailand and was studying Thai massage and felt her energy depleted in the give and take of the massage sessions. She said she could barely crawl the last block to see Dr. Rungrat. But when she finally made it, Dr. Rungrat talked to her for the first 45 minutes, calmed her down before she even began to treat her. By the end of the first session, she was feeling 75% better, and 3 sessions later, she was completely cured. My experience with Dr. Rungrat was the same. How can I describe her? Her hair was hanging down around her face, very doctor-like. She had on a white coat. She listened to me for 45 minutes, taking down all my information. Too much information, I said to her. No, no, she replied. It's all good. Then I lay down on her table in the next room, and she put the needles in my foot. A half an hour later, I got up, my foot feeling much better, and I could actually walk on it without pain. Now some of the redness and swelling was gone. Too much heat in your body, Dr. Rungrat said. You take Chinese herbs. I treat you the traditional way, but I also give you Western medicine. Don't be a hero with pain. Take both medicines together. At the end of the session, she wrote out something for me to give to the pharmacist, and off I went. The next day I returned. The Chinese nurse led me into the room and told me to lie down. I sat in a chair instead, waiting for Dr. Rungrat. This time the door opened and in came a lovely young woman. Small, 5 feet 3 inches tall, long black hair, back in a ponytail, a white blouse, black pants, a thin frame, agile to the 10th degree. It was Dr. Rungrat. I lay down. She put in the needles. I felt nothing. I felt only her hands, so gentle, so kind, so loving. Each treatment was a continuation of the last. One more treatment and I was completely healed. But healed as I was, I couldn't stop seeing her. I went back for 3 more sessions. 6 sessions in all. By the 4th session, we were old friends. You are a nice person, she said to me, and she shook my hand. You are a nice person too, Dr. Rungrat, I said. You pronounced my name correctly, Rungrat. It has been a pleasure to serve you, she said. Dr. Rungrat, I said, meeting you gives me faith once again that there are still people out there. We are all like this. To be like this is traditional Chinese medicine. You are a special woman, Dr. Rungrat, I said. And you, Harry, you are a very special man. In the 5th session, as I lay on her bed, the needle stuck into my left foot. Just relax, she said. You are the king of this room. I looked up at the small shades that covered the 3-paneled windows to my right on the wall. The windows were in various shades of black, yellow, and brown. It was an insight into the postcard I had bought in the street bazaar. On the postcard, the head of the Buddha was encased in black, his face a bronze mask of bright yellow, with dark brown patches on his nose, lips, cheeks, eyes, and forehead, a relic of a former time. The Western medicine began to affect my stomach and head, so I stopped taking it. Good, Dr. Rungrat said. Listen to your body. Yes, those shades were the sun coming through them, black, bright yellow, and soft brown, reminded me in their 3 panels of the Zen saying, before I studied Buddhism, mountains were mountains and valleys were valleys. While I studied Buddhism, mountains were no longer mountains and valleys were no longer valleys. After I studied Buddhism, mountains were mountains and valleys were valleys. Dr. Rungrat's shades, those soft hands, that winning smile. She was running here and there like a little girl, so full of life, trust, love, kindness, and compassion. Dr. Rungrat, a Chinese acupuncturist and herbalist, was my real introduction to Thailand. So filled and full of silence, I remembered the Zen saying, what is the sound of one hand clapping? Dr. Rungrat shook my hand. I felt her small hand in mine, and I returned her firm handshake with one of my own. The last time I saw Dr. Rungrat, she entered the room and I said to her, Dr. Rungrat, I want you to tell me what you think. Yesterday I ate something that disagreed with my gout. Last night I felt an awareness in my foot, and I pointed around the back of my bone. I drank some water, more water. Good, she said. You know, I wanted you to work on my back today. Do you think you should work again on my foot? I will do a 2-part treatment. Harry, on your back and on your foot. Take off your pants. At first I didn't understand her. Then she pointed to my pants and said again, take off your pants. I laughed. That's the nicest invitation I have had today. When a woman asked me to take off my pants. Dr. Rungrat laughed. You make me laugh, Harry, she said, as I lay down on the table on my side. Are you comfortable, she asked, as she gave me a pillow and put the needles into my left foot and my lower back. Yes, I said. I wrote a story about you today. I write short stories and poems. What did you write about, she asked. Your smile, I said. Your smile, your softness, your gentleness, your kindness, your silence, and above all, your wonderful hands. You have such loving hands. Thank you. You make me laugh, she said again. Life is too serious, Dr. Rungrat, I said. You know that. You've seen, I'm sure, how serious it is, and one has to laugh. What did you write about in your story about me, Harry? Do you write for a newspaper? No, I write only for myself. I write about things in life that impress me, moments in time. I wrote about the paneled windows, how they were black, bright yellow, and soft brown. I wrote about how the 3 shades reminded me of the photograph I had bought of the Buddha. They were the same colors in his face. I wrote about having met you and how I was introduced to the essence of Buddhism in one moment of time. You know, Dr. Rungrat, how a single moment can give us the clue we need to experience time and eternity, that one moment of light. I am writing my autobiography. It is called The Carnival We Call Humanity. Ordinary pictures of the beggar taken with his bowl. An autobiography. I don't write to publish, but when, after I've gone into the light, once again, if someone thinks my work is worthy, then he will publish it. It's an autobiography written in vignettes, short stories about my life and about moments in time. You will tell me if I should come back to see you again, I said. On Sunday, the day after tomorrow, we leave for Pai. Yes, I will, Harry. Now we have to do maksa on your back and toe. The door opened a half hour later, and I thought it was Dr. Rungrat, but after telling for 5 minutes, with my eyes closed, how soft and gentle her hands were, and asking her where she had studied acupuncture, and she telling me she had not studied acupuncture, but had learned it from watching, when I opened my eyes, I discovered, much to my surprise and embarrassment, it was the nurse I had been talking to. Did Dr. Rungrat say I should come back tomorrow, I asked, quickly. If you want, the nurse answered. Your motor has stopped, Harry. I feel it, Sandy said, as we sat in the restaurant. You're going inside. You're eating slowly and more mindfully. You're drinking your tea. What happened? I saw Dr. Rungrat today for my final acupuncture treatment. That did it for me. Acupuncture always does. I slow down. What massage does for you, Sandy, acupuncture does for me. I didn't tell Sandy what Dr. Rungrat had said to me as I lay there on her table on my side, my left foot up and over 2 rollers and a pillow against my breast. Are you all right to stay alone, she asked me. Sure, I said, I'm used to it. You're really a lovely man. I feel it and hear it in your voice. And she took hold of my hand. Dr. Rungrat had told me about her 14-year-old son, how he loved basketball and all sports and reading. How he read stories to her and asked her, "Mommy, do you believe it? Are they true? Is it really true? I love it when my son reads to me. I love it when you tell me stories. You make me laugh. I'm sorry to be leaving you, but it's time to go, time to leave Chiang Mai. We won't let you go," Dr. Rungrat said, and she took my hand. "You are so soft, Dr. Rungrat, so soft and so gentle. It has been a privilege to serve you and to meet you. Thank you. Thank you so much for just being there. The pleasure is all mine. Kapun Kap, Kapun Cha. Thank you. Yes, I had had my first real experience of Buddhism, and from a Chinese doctor, a practitioner of traditional Chinese medicine in Thailand. I saw the face of the Buddha, reclining hand against his cheek, black, bright yellow, and soft brown. His face was smiling. And that's the first story. That's the one. I tell you, it was traveling was a real wake-up call for me. And not traveling in Europe. I traveled when I was young to Germany, to France, to Italy, to England, to Spain, to Romania, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it because I was hooked into the Holocaust and what Hitler had done to 6 million Jews, and I just didn't feel at home in the European countries. But my other three-quarters, my better three-quarters, I always refer to her as, when we come to a checkout counter in a grocery store, and the man says to me, "Are you together?" I always say, "I don't know about myself, but she's together." She likes that. I pay her compliments. Anyway, I don't want to get off the track. She designed jewelry and had it made in Thailand and in India. And she took me on her trips, a couple of her trips. And this was one of the trips. She took me on to Thailand. And it was just wonderful. It opened up an entirely new realm for me, Buddhism and Hinduism. I'll tell you about that in the last story when I compare Buddhism and Hinduism, or India and Thailand. But it's an entirely different way of looking at the world, Buddhism and Hinduism, and I added it to Judaism. And suddenly I found myself not only a Jew, but a Buju and a Hindu. And they were wonderful, wonderful experiences by having gone with her. The second story I want to read you is